All right. We're finally into the ones where I know for a fact I at least have one jersey in here that wasn't in my last collection video. So I can stop pulling your guys' leg on this. So we're up to Chicago now. And we're going to go back to the 50s to start. And we're going to go back to this guy. Now, this logo is phenomenal. And it hasn't changed much since then, but the subtle changes just make it so much better. Maybe just because it's different is why I appreciate it. I don't know. But I think this logo is fantastic. And the thing that was different back then from what they have now is instead of having the shoulder logo up on the shoulders, they got them down here on the elbows, which is different enough to make it cool for me. And I like how it's perfectly centered in all the stripes. That's sharp to me. And it's a bobby hole. Now, obviously, they didn't have nameplates in the 50s, but I assure you it is a real jersey. It's an actual CCM throwback. Oh, yeah, here we go. From their Heroes of Hockey collection. I found this at the mall, believe it or not. I don't know why a mall in Colorado Springs had this, but I paid full price for it because I had to have it, obviously. Overall, I love this jersey. The thing I don't like about it is it's got the stupid neck shield thing, even though it doesn't have the shield in it. Like, I don't know why CCM... that Bruins jersey I showed you earlier had that too. Why is that necessary? They didn't have that back in the day. You don't have the shield in here, so what's the point of that? I don't know. I know a lot of guys who are hairier than myself, got some chest fuzz going on. They don't like that poking out through the top. So I guess I can kind of understand it, but I usually wear... I'm not now, but normally if I'm wearing a jersey out and about in town, I'll have like a plain white t-shirt underneath for that reason, but yeah, it's all right. The other reason is in some jerseys, like a lot of the old CCM jerseys, if you wore a white jersey, these parts would show through. So I get that. But anyways, I love this jersey. I'm glad. I don't regret paying full price for it. I do like this jersey. And I've hardly worn it, so it's stayed pretty nice through the years. And then next in the collection, we're going to go from 1956, I believe that was, all the way up to 2007. And this guy. Now let me bring back this other one so we can compare the logos here. Just block myself out of the camera so you can see. So the face paint, let's see if here we go. The face paint's different. I feel like the feathers in the 50s jersey had a little more vibrancy, a little more color. Now, I'll admit this is a premiere, so it's a little different. But I don't know. It's just different enough for me that I like the old school logo better. And then obviously the shoulder patches are up on the shoulder, where they traditionally go. It's got the same striping pattern. And I don't think this is kind of like the Hartford situation where everybody seems to love this jersey. And unlike the Hartford jersey, I disagree with this one. I feel like the Hawks have had enough different looks in their history. They don't have to wear this all the time. Blackhawks fans are going to come at me like, no, that's our jersey. Which you're right. They shouldn't change from this. I just like them too. But they won't, which is fine. And it's Patrick Kane, because America. And obviously it's a premiere, so it's got the creases and wrinkles in it. But what are you going to do? I bought this when they won their first cup. Was that 2010? At the time, when I really didn't have money, I was like, okay, I could buy one jersey a year, maybe two. So like tax return, I'd buy an Oilers jersey. And then the other jersey I'd buy whoever won the cup. So that year it was the Blackhawks. And I didn't know this at the time, which we'll get to in later jerseys. But the difference between the Premiers and the Authentics and the Reebok years for these Blackhawks logos was worth paying the extra, $50-$60, whatever it was. Maybe it was $100. I don't remember, but it was worth it. We'll get to that and why. But it's that Reebok Premier logo. So in 2008, they came out with this guy as their alternate. Now through the late 90s, early 2000s, they had the black alternate, and they continued that the first year of the Reebok alternates. That's the only year they wore this, which I think's a shame because I honestly like this better than the red one. They're the Blackhawks, so it makes sense to be black. I like the striping better on these, and somehow the logo works on it. I mean, it's kind of like a no-no to have a black logo on a black background, but maybe, I don't know, something about it, it just works for me. I like it. And it's a Shazi because I saw this on full moon and I was like, they only wore this jersey for 1 year. I got to get this now. I'll never see it again. And I got a pretty good deal on it. Still got the shoulder logos. Again, it's got the black outline in the logo, but somehow it still works. It doesn't work as great as the logo does. But I appreciate this jersey. And I wouldn't mind if this came back as a third full-time again. Now, we're going to get to that thing I was telling you about with the logo change, and we're also going to get to one of the new ones, finally. So this is the white Adidas. Now let me show you why the difference with this logo and that logo is so profound. This chain stitching is phenomenal. It's old school. It's like, you know, like when they wore sweaters back in the day. That's what the kind of logo material would be on it. But the detail in this is so insane. It's worth the extra money to get the real one. Now let me bring this guy back so we can compare the logos here. The quality in the logos. I don't know if you can see that. There's my eyeball. If you could see that. But this is phenomenal. And I got this from the actual Hawks team store. I went to Chicago helping a buddy of mine. She was graduated Navy boot camp. So while we were out there in Chicago, I had to go to the team store, obviously. And it's another Kane because America. The thing that upset me about buying this is Kane had already been traded to Detroit. Taves had retired. And those were the only two players I could get. So I was like, oh, okay, they'll be on sale. No, I think I paid like $325 for this thing, which pissed me off because it's like Kane's not even on the team anymore. Whatever. I'm glad I have it in the collection. I've always liked the White Hawks jerseys. They're clean and sharp to me. And I'm glad to have this one in the collection. And I think got one more here for you. I'm not sure if I had this one when I made the last collection video. It might be. I've had this for a while now. But I love this jersey. It's their Winter Classic jersey. And the reason I love this is a throwback to the 20s when they first came in the league. That they wore a white version of this. And then I think somewhere, it might have been the early 30s, but probably late 20s, they switched to the black. Which again makes sense because they're the Blackhawks. And I don't know. When I first saw this, I was like, look at all the stripes. That is insane. And I don't know why, but I fell in love with this jersey. The logo's kind of plain, but again, it's still that real nice chain stitching in there. And even the captain's logo, just for that old school look. I love this jersey. It's phenomenal. And it's a Taves, who actually was on the team at the time I got this. So my buddy didn't get ripped off. My buddy went to that same team store a few years before I went there and found this for me. And I had to pay him back, but it's totally worth it. I love this jersey. And I don't have it, but the New Jersey, whatever you want to call it, their alternate, it's this jersey with some red in it. It's dumb. But anyways, let's see in the neck here, we got all the years they won the Stanley Cup, which is a nice touch. I don't know if there's anything in the collar on the white one. Let me check. No, just plain Jane. So anyways, finally showed you guys at least one jersey, maybe two, that wasn't in the original video. So I can prove to you I'm not lying here. And who would be next? That'd be Colorado, which might... There's got to be some new ones in there. I live in Colorado, so I get those things all the time. But we'll find out. So thanks for watching.